Hi, everyone. It's Sue here. And I got inspired today to make this short little video to break down a common core body exercise. Do you guys are concerned about core body? In my years of being a fitness professional and now as a yoga professional, it's probably the number one thing I hear from most women. How do I strengthen my core? What's the best exercise to strengthen my core, right? And there's so many exercises out there. You could pick a zillion of them. In fact, I did a core series that's free on my YouTube channel, and it took you from baseline all the way up to pretty high functioning mobility exercise. But this particular movement is very common in the fitness world and very common in the yoga world, and it's called the dead bug. Have you ever heard of the dead bug? It's a basic beginner practice, but here's what I have found in my years of working with people. They do it wrong. Most people do it wrong. And if it's a foundational basic movement pattern and you do it wrong, what happens? Then anything that you do beyond that doesn't have a good foundation. There's a crack in the foundation. There's a weakness there. Because this particular exercise, this dead bug exercise, works a variety of intrinsic muscles, meaning the deepest core muscles that are closest to the bones and the organs. And it helps to stabilize your pelvic floor, your sacrum, your lower back. And it sets you up for being able to do the harder poses like plank. How many people do plank? How do you know if you're doing it correctly? It's a hard one because you're kind of out there in space. So this sets you up really well. Now, what I'd like you to do, even if you are a seasoned exerciser, I'd like you to start with me and do it from the beginning. There's 5 layers, if you will, from the very simplest all the way up to the full dead bug. And then there's a little challenge at the end. And what I'd like you to do is be honest and curious with yourself about, I don't really do that one quite so easily. I feel like I'm really letting go. That's where you stay and you work. And when that gets easy, then you go to the next level. And when that gets easy, you go to the next level. Don't just hop through all the levels just because your body knows them, because it might not be doing it well. Okay, so dead bug, breaking it down. Let's get on our mat. We're going to lie down on our backs. And what I'd like you to do, this is what I ask everybody to do. You lie down with your legs bent, and you're going to pick your pelvis up and put it back down to reset your pelvis. Make sure your shoulders and your shoulder blades feel flat on the floor. And the first thing we're going to do is set you up in what we're calling your neutral. Your neutral is not back flat on the floor. This is flexion of the spine. This is not a good place to be. It's a good place to go if you want to feel the muscles working, but then don't stay there. So fingers on your hip bones, thumbs on your rib cage. You're going to inhale and open the belly, arch the spine off the floor, and feel these points get further apart. And you're going to exhale, pull the abdomen down, back will flatten to the floor, and you're going to feel these points get closer together. Try it again. Inhale, arch the back off the floor, doing an anterior pelvic tilt here. Exhale, abdomen flat back on the floor, doing a posterior pelvic tilt. Neither of those are optimal, so find something in the middle. Everybody's a little different, but what you should feel is lightness in the lower back, and your weight of your sacrum, pelvis is on your sacrum, not on your tailbone and not on your lower back. All right, keeping all of this going. Now I want you to think about your rib cage, and you're going to exhale and draw the rib cage down, because what most people do is they disengage it. They keep this part still, but then they disengage up here. So exhale, pull your rib cage down so that you feel connected into these 4 points. I'm going to call this your little box. And then the pelvic floor to the top of your shoulders is your big box. All right, so the big box stays quiet, the little box stays really active, and here's your first movement.
You're going to keep your hands where they are or put your hands across your ribs. You're going to lift one leg up and you're going to put it back down. And you're going to lift the other leg up and put it back down. Now, if I were working with you privately, I would be watching your hip bones that they don't move and your rib cage that it doesn't poke up. And lift. And really be clear, like, can I really hold this steady? Keep my throat, jaw, neck relaxed. Know that I've got this engaged. And then take a breath. Layer one. Layer two, same thing. Rib cage comes down. You're holding your neutral position. Your feet are on the floor. But this time, I want you to stretch your one leg out. Don't touch the floor. See if you can hold everything in neutral. Come back to center, put it on the floor. Other leg stretches out. And you want to do this maybe 2 or 3 times because it's like a little warm up for your little baby muscles inside your body. And in. I do these regularly because they're a great way to signal to my body, oh, this is what's coming. I don't want to start with the big stuff because maybe my little muscles are sleeping. They need a chance to kick on. Good. And relax for a minute. Now, if you felt like in that second one, your shoulders were a little bit lifted, you're getting to that edge because you have to be able to keep everything quiet. The box, the big box is still, and the little box is active. Reset yourself, and a lot of times you have to go through that range a couple times. Bring the ribs in. Now, this is the final level on this stage. So my right hand is going to come to my ribs. My left arm is going to come to the sky. I want to stretch out my right leg and then stretch back my left arm. Can you keep this box still and active? Come back to center. Change your hands. Left leg stretches out. Right arm goes back. Now this is dead bug in a modified version. Come back to center. Remember, do 2 or 3 repetitions. You want to really train your body when you start to work these opposing limbs. You start to cross diagonal in the body, which is really important for functional movement patterns. We don't do anything in our daily life that is completely linear. We always reach across the body or reach on a diagonal. We almost always step in a diagonal pattern. Last one here. And just, again, I'm doing 3 of each. Go ahead and rest. Take a break. Now, if those 3 movement patterns with the feet on the floor work for you and you know you're pretty stable, then we're going to progress. So again, anterior tilt, open the belly, separate these bones, exhale, posterior tilt, close the bones, hold on to that idea of closing the bones as you come to neutral. Remember to re-engage your ribs because that's what's going to give away first, and then hands on your ribs. Now we're going to lift the knees up. So now the feet are not on the floor. All of this is still the same. You're going to tap one foot down with a bent leg and bring it back up. Tap one foot down. Now, this is where a lot of people will feel a deep engagement. And it might be your edge. This might be where you think, whoa, I couldn't do any more than that. This is really pretty hard. Then you work here daily until you start to feel stronger. And that's 3. Good. Now, if this still feels good and you want to, the next level is to stretch the leg out. And then come back in. Can you keep the ribs engaged? Can you keep your core body engaged? Can you keep the lightness in your spine? The leg goes out as far as it can and as low as it can without touching the floor. And back in. And out. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, this is pretty hard. I don't do these fast on purpose. Relax for a minute. You see them done fast, and that's when people are working on speed and quickness. But to get this movement pattern and to really feel the deep intrinsic muscles firing, you shouldn't go fast. All right, so if you could do all of that, then you're ready for the dead bug, the full-on dead bug. So ribs engaged, lightness in the spine, knees are up, arms are up, shoulders on your back. Right leg, left arm. Now you could still put one hand on your ribs to make sure. Come back to center. Left leg, right arm. And you want to keep checking yourself. Are you holding your breath? Are you gritting your teeth? Does your neck feel really, really tense? Is your lower back starting to hurt? Any of those are warning signals. You're going too far, you're going too much. You don't get a gold star for doing it too much and injuring yourself. Last time each side. Notice I'm going really slow. I'm being very honest with myself about where I'm at and how much I can ask of this body. And every day is different, right? Okay, go ahead and rest. Now, let's just say you did all those and you're like, dead bug's not that hard. I can do it. Here's the challenge. Do you have hand weights? If not, you can use a little 1 pound can or, water bottles. These are 3 pounds. I wouldn't recommend going over 5. And you do dead bug with weights in your hands. So the weights come over your shoulders. The shoulders are plugged in. The feet are up. And now right leg, left arm moves apart. Don't rest on the floor. Come back to center. And right arm, left leg moves apart. As smooth and controlled as you did without the weights. And back to center. And open, nice and smooth. And you can do 3 to 5 reps. If you're only doing this version, you could do 5 to 10 reps as your warm up to the bigger movement. Make sure that you're engaging these deep, deep muscles before you ask your body to do the big, hard stuff. And rest. All right. There's your breakdown of the dead bug. Simplest form to most challenging. And then, of course, if you had ankle weights, you could even go up another layer by putting ankle weights on your ankles and doing dead bug with ankle weights and hand weights. I don't have ankle weights, so I didn't show you that. I love this progression for everybody. I've worked with many, many people. I start them in the exact same way, and then I find their sweet spot. Oh, this is where they need to work, right here. That takes you into all kinds of standing functional movements. It takes you into all kinds of strength building movements like plank. So don't get so quick to rush to the big, fancy, shiny new thing, and stay with the simple until you really get strong from the inside out. Okay, if you like this content and you want to hear more from me, let me know. You can leave a message on my YouTube channel. You can email me if you have your email. You can drop me a comment if you're on my Facebook private group. You can text me if you have my phone number. Let me know where you are in that progression. Let me know if this progression was helpful to you. And also let me know if you want to hear more from me. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Until next time.